welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another HR video. Now in today's video, we are actually going to talk about people who take interviews, basically known as interviewers. Now we are never given a formal training that how to take an interviews. We either learn it through our experiences or when we sit across somebody who's taking an interview. Now in today's video, I am actually going to share my experiences with you and talk about the do's and don'ts of taking an interview. And without much blabbering, let's jump on to the video. My first suggestion would be that please do not make the candidate wait. Now you must be thinking ये तो बहुत obvious है, candidate को wait कौन कराता है? But if you see your records, we typically end up reaching the interviewing room 10 to 15 minutes late. Now इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपके पास काम नहीं है अगर आप इंटरव्यूइंग रूम पे टाइम पे पहुंच रहे हो. इसका मतलब ये है दैट यू रियली रिस्पेक्ट योर टाइम, यू रिस्पेक्ट द टाइम ऑफ द कैंडिडेट हु हैज कम फ्रॉम फार अवे. नाउ यू मस्ट बी थिंकिंग ये तो इंटरव्यूई पे भी एप्लीकेबल है, तो इंटरव्यूअर को ही क्यों बोला जा रहा है? वेल, इंटरव्यूई के लिए विल टॉक सम टाइम एल्स, बट सिंस वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इंटरव्यूअर, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट देम ओनली. Make sure that you reach the interviewing room on time. This will not only tell the candidate that you respect your time, but this will also tell him that you are being a big shot, comes on time and take the interviews on time. Now remember that अगर आप अपनी किसी meeting में बैठे हो and there are a couple of more members of that meeting and they end up coming to that room late, what would be your reaction? Similar reaction is going to be for the candidate as well, but वो आपको show नहीं कर पाएगा because he or she is sitting on the other side of the table. But what I'm trying to say here is that make sure that you reach the interviewing room on time, because if you have the right to reject somebody, they have it too. The next important thing that you should be doing is that read the resume of the candidate. Now typically when an HR or a recruiter aligns an interview, there is a small attachment along with it that says resume or the name of the candidate who you will be interviewing. Now mostly resume हम तब पढ़ते हैं जब हम interviewing room में जाने वाले होते हैं. We do not take a proactive action of reading the resume well in advance or at least taking a glance on the resume well in advance. My suggestion as an interviewer, not as an HR, but as an interviewer is that please make sure that you read the resume well in advance before entering the interviewing room. If you cannot read the resume, make sure at least you take a glance at the resume so that you know who's the person you are going to meet, what are the educational qualifications, what is the previous experience, what is the kind of work that that person is doing. This will help you to formulate questions better and not look as if you have just read the resume. Next, ask specific question. Now as an interviewer, since we have not read the resume or even have not taken a glance at the resume of the candidate, we'll typically start with something which is, tell me something about yourself. Well, it's not a bad question to ask. The question here is that what is it that you are looking out for the answer against the question that you have asked. If you want to have a very specific answer, you need to showcase that you have a very specific question. I can share some of the questions with you. You can change them as per your requirements. You can tweak them as per your requirements. And let's get on to those questions. The first question is that what is the kind of opportunity or role that you are looking at? The answer to this question that the candidate will give will actually tell that what is a candidate looking for themselves in a role. The second question that you can ask is that what makes you apply to this job? The answer will give you either a specific reason or it will tell you that the candidate is just applying left, right, center and for random companies. The third question that you can ask is what do you know about the company where you have applied? Now this will give you an idea whether the candidate has done the homework or research on the company that they are coming for an interview. Fourth, what kind of work or company excites you? Basically the kind of companies that the candidate wants to work for and what have they done to get up to it. Fifth, why did you join these previous companies? Was it money? Was it role? Was it relocation, etc.? The answer to this will make you understand the pattern, whether the candidate is compensation player or a high performer. Sixth, work related questions only. Give a very specific question or case to understand the knowledge and skills both. Do not throw random situations to check the reaction because random questions will give you random answers. Seventh, how do you create and how do you reach your goals? The answer to this question will give you an understanding of the logic, approach, and working of the candidate. 8. Challenges in the previous company and how did you overcome it? The answer to this will help you understand the steps and measures of the candidate. How does the candidate overcome the situation and what were the reactions in tough and difficult times along with the solutions created. Now, these are some questions that you can ask your candidate. You can definitely tweak it as per your requirements, but make sure that you ask a very specific question because you do not want a random answer. Fourth, compensation. Do not indulge yourself into a compensation conversation if you're not a part of a recruitment team or if you're not a part of a compensation analysis team. Now, why am I saying this is because you don't know what is the conversation that has happened between the HR or the compensation team and the candidate. And why to get into it when you don't know about it? So let the HR and compensation team do their job because that's what they're being paid for. Last but not the least, do not make the candidate uncomfortable. Well, the candidate is already uncomfortable and is already nervous because he or she is not aware that what are the kind of questions that are going to pop up from an interviewer, because that interviewer can be a big shot, it can be your 6th round or your 7th round or your MD round or the founder round. They're already nervous about it. Try and listen to the candidate more as compared to you talking more, because we know as an interviewee, we know that you are there, you have done a lot of work and you are on a respectable position. That is why you are taking an interview. But the point here is that do not brag about the kind of work that you are doing, but talk about the holistic picture of the company and talk about what are the kind of things that your company can offer to the candidate. Now talk to the candidate, hear to the candidate, create some common grounds where you can talk to the candidate and get more meat out of the candidate as compared to you talking more. So do not leave your candidate unanswered, unattended and uncomfortable. Well, these are the few things that I have listed down. If you have any recommendations because you've been a part of an interviewing panel and you have some recommendations, please do not hesitate to put that in the comment section below. And if you think that someone can get benefited out of this video, by all means go ahead and share this. Now, if you've been watching my videos and have not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. That means the absolute world to me. Now, this is it for today's video, guys. I will see you in my next video. Until then, please take care of yourself. I love you all so much. Bye-bye.